welcome back to another 5 Parsecs from Home. This is the 3rd edition solo adventure wargaming. I am working on the campaign and enemy creation for the Star Wolves. I've got it all organized on the sheet here. This is what's provided in the book. I like this way of setup here. You got your Captain, Buck Nebula, and you got Malachi, Kodiak, and Tully. You notice I didn't put any of the weapons in there yet. I just put it in the stash, standard stashed equipment here that's provided that you store on your ship. Haven't thought of a name for a ship name yet for them yet. I figure it'd be something related to the Star Wolves or whatever. So anyways, to sum it up, they got 3 story points, 2 patrons, 2 rivals. They only got 9 credits, so they're pretty much in the same boat as the Hellhounds crew. They're broke. Their ship is a retired troop transport, which has a hull point of 35, which is awesome. They owe 32 credits on it, so they gotta start paying that down. And the trait has an emergency drive, which is in case the planet is invaded. This emergency drive will shoot them off and won't cost them anything extra. Usually it takes like 5 credits to get off a planet. So anyways, as I did with the other crew and my crew, they were going to start immediately on a planet, and we'll go that route. So again, we got Captain Buck Nebula. He's a Karen, whatever. It's a species type. Andrew Mike wanted to be some kind of alien or whatever. So reaction 1, speed 4, toughness 4. So he's a toughie. They are natural brawlers, so that's why I put in the notes brawler. Because they prefer to fight in melee, than in range. They're better at it. Malachi, he's a human. Kodiak's a human, and Tully's human. Malachi is like a bounty hunter, and he's got a speed of 5, so he's the fastest one out of them all. Their toughness is all the same, except Bug Nebula is the toughie. So, and that's it. That's just a summing up here. These are what they got from Roland. Is a bipod, colony, rifle, nerve adjuster, stabilizer, beam light. They will be rolling for some more weapons here very soon. So I just wanted to show you that I got this thing recorded on a nice little sheet here, organized. And then the next one here is why we're doing it is going to be the world record sheet. I'm going to go ahead and roll up their world and then throw their patrons on here and their rivals on here, and we'll work that out. I got saved right here. This sheet is another one we're going to work on here is the encounter log. This is going to have what enemies they're going to go against on their first battle or whatever, the first mission that they get. So yep, looking forward to doing this. This is the fun playing the game. After I played my first one, I had more fun doing the creating crews and all that instead of playing playing the tabletop miniature game. But hey, it works out great. So here we are. We're on the new world of rival steps here. We could check for rivals. You already got 2 of them on there. So and you got we need to check see if you have any. Yeah, I think you guys have 2 patrons. Yeah, you have 2 patrons. So what we got to do is roll up what the world traits are and then get a name for the world and all that. So it's going to be a D100 here. And yep, a D100 table, and what it does is the trait means what kind of planet it is. So if I roll like a 7-8, the trait is a war zone, and that means when setting up the table you must add a 1d3 ruined buildings or crates. It kind of teaches you what that gives you a background of the world. So anyways, we'll get to that. Ooh, these things are so yummy. Having a little lunch break. Now for a world record sheet, I got this in the mail. It's the Game Master's book of more random encounters. I know I could go online and do a planet generator or whatever kind of stuff, but I like this. It has a planet generator here, and you roll a D100 and it gives you the name of the planet, the place in space, but I'll have my own little galaxy name or whatever, the atmosphere, the flora, the fauna, population status, why are we here, if we want to do something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll D100 and see where we land on this one. So blue is the 10s and the reds are the 1s, and we get a 2 and a 6, so 26. Don't have to. So on a 26 here, the Star Wolves are on a planet Arborneum. I can't even say it. Arborneum, Arbor, N-U-I-M. Right here, man. If you guys pronounce that, man. So, Planet Arbor. That's what I'll call it. Pronounce Arbor Newum. The place in space, it's an Earth-like planet, except it's almost 100 times as large, and the sun never penetrates the dense clouds. So it's going to be kind of like Seattle. It's going to be gray and gloomy. Atmosphere, a contiguous continent of forest, changes with the seasons and provides a rich, healthy atmosphere to breathe, if not to see. Wow. So, alrighty, cool. The flora is crystals that act as trees, house a diverse ecosystem of insects. Okay. Birds, mammals, amphibians. Okay, cool. Population and clans of hunter-gatherers still roam the forest, whose abundance provides for them without any need for agriculture and or husbandry. Why are we here? To make contact with a native tribe living deep in a crystal forest, rumored to be harboring the greatest smuggler in the galaxy. Oh, I like this. I like this right here. So I wonder if I could try to get this into the game here. So we'll see what we can do. Ooh, Captain Tully, or Corporal Tully, whatever, of the Star Wars. Remind me, I forgot to do the rolls for the weapons for the Star Wars crew. So we go back and we'll take care of this real quick. Thanks for reminding me that. That would have been pretty bad for you guys. Right here we do the weapons here, the crew equipment. 3 rolls on military weapon table for each crew member who rolled at least 1 savvy, which none of you have any savvy, so that ain't happening. Increase, you may take one of the rolls on the high-tech weapons, so it looks like you're not getting any high-tech weapons here. Let's go ahead and do the 3 rolls on the military weapon table, which is going to be a D100, and it's this weapon table here. I'm sure you probably can't see that too well, but remember, maximize your computer screen, or if you're watching on TV. It's a D100 here, so we'll go ahead. Blue is the 10s, red is the 1s. First one is a 34, and you have a scrap pistol is the first one. So you got, I'll write this down here, scrap pistol. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to read it because I'm going fast here because I biffed it. The next roll, second roll, is a 51, and it's a colony rifle, decent. It has a little bit of range to it. I think that's 2 colony rifles now you have. And then the third roll on the, oh, I'm doing the low-tech weapon table. Okay, that still works. We'll just do a low-tech weapon here. I gotta remember to look at these here. Kind of in a hurry because I biffed it. So, and then the third, the last roll for the low-tech weapons, because it says right here 3 rolls on the low-tech weapon, is 100, double zeros. Brutal melee weapon. Ooh. I think somebody on that team is a brawler, so that would rather brawl than do any range fights or whatever. So anyways, Captain. And now we'll go ahead and do the military, 3 rolls of the military weapon, which is this right here. And we get a 09, so 1 through 25, a military rifle. Okay. Oh, I could barely read my handwriting. And then second roll, we get a 24, which is another military rifle. So I'll just put ×2. And then the third and final roll of the military is a 39, which is an infantry laser. Interesting. Infantry laser. That's going to have some kind of advantage on there. Okay, so we got that out of the way. 1 roll on the gear table. So a gear table is right here. We got a 31 communicator. Yeah, and I'll write all this on to the other sheet later. So I'll transfer it over. And then we roll for one roll on the gadget table, and you get a 63 screen generator. Ooh, I think that's like a electric, we call it like an armor, like a shield, maybe. Screen generator. That one would be interesting to find out. Alrighty, and then 1 credit per crew member Plus 1 credit for each crew member recruited once the game has started. Okay, back to the campaign here. Sorry about that. You're on this world. I'm skipping 1 and 2 and even 3. I'm not. You guys are already licensed on this world. We're not going to roll to see if you need a license required. World trades where I took care of that. Next is, I'm trying to hurry, guys. Upkeep on ship repairs. Well, you can't do any of that because you're on this world. You can assign and resolve crew tasks. You can send. You got 4 members. We have Buck, Malachi, Kodiak, and Tully. You can send one to find a patron. You already have 2, so I think you guys are okay on that. You could go train, but that's usually for post battle. That's where if you train, you get 1 XP because you need to build up XP to spend your XP on upgrades and all that. Trade, yes, you guys can go trade. When you trade, where is it here? Trade for each crew member trading, roll once on the trade table to see what presents itself. You can get additional rolls by spending 3 credits, which you don't want to do. You only got 9 credits. So you can send all you guys could go to the trade, and then the other one's recruit, which you don't need to recruit because you can't afford another recruit because it costs money to feed that recruit. So you can explore, and you could look for a revival for a showdown if you want to take on a rival because you have 2 rivals on you. There's nothing to repair. Decoy, help avoid rivals finding you. This one's always confusing because you come up to that later on in the campaign also. So let's hold off on that one. How about, if you don't mind, Captain, send 3 to trade and then 1 to explore. Try to score some new equipment, maybe, or how about 2 to trade and 2 to explore and see what you can get. Usually get like a little pluses of some sort of ability or equipment or whatever. So we'll do that. We'll send Buck and Malachi to trade and Kodiak and Tully to explore. Alrighty, Buck and Malachi, you're out to trade, where your rolls on the trade table represent your crew bartering unspecified items you have found along the way for new interesting goods. You receive whatever it is the table indicates. Some entries allow a choice between multiple items. If so, you receive just 1. If a roll would cost money, you may opt not to purchase it, which would be good. Whatever you roll is available for use immediately. So it's a D100 table. Yes, it is. So here we go again. Blue's the 10s, red's the 1s. Buck, what do you find? What did you trade? You rolled a 10. And Buck, quality food and booze. Yeah, Buck, you are interested in your beer. So recruit a new character to your crew, single use. Oh, you get to, it's an effect. You get to recruit a new character to your crew. Oh, single use though. So interesting. Okay, I guess you could use 1 dude for just for a one-time mission, so it's single use. That's what it says right there in bold print there. I cannot find what it exactly means, but I'm going by single use. So anyways, now let's see what Malachi trades. Malachi, you rolled a 30. Basic supplies. Skip upkeep cost for 1 campaign turn. Single use. Wow, that's not bad. Save money. Okay, Kodiak, you and Tully are on an exploration here, and it looks like it's a D100 table too. Yeah, so already, Kodiak, what you're exploring is, what's your result? Kodiak, you get rolled an 88. 88, Kodiak, 88. Kodiak, 88, sounds like a brewski. 87 to 90, offered a reward. Oh, when fighting this campaign turn, select a random terrain feature. If a crew member moves into contact and spends a combat action, you can retrieve a package and earn 2 credits. Wow. And finally, Tully, what do you find on your exploration? 67. 65, 60. Information broker. Ooh, okay, so you explored and found an info broker. Okay. Buy up to 3 rumors for 2 credits each. Oh, you have to buy something. The rumors can be nice to have. Buy up to 3 rumors for 2 credits. You don't have enough. You only have 9 credits. So, alrighty, next is the job offers from the 2 patrons you have. So we're going to determine what they are. So patron table here, you roll a D10, a single D10, and it'll let you know if you have a corporation patron, a local government patron, sector government, wealthy individual, private organization, or secretive group patron. So let's get to it. Okay, first patron is a 4, so it's a local government. Okay, local government. Second patron you have is a 7, a wealthy individual. Oh, richy rich dude. Wealthy end. There you go. Now we roll a D10 on danger pay table. The danger pay offer. This is on top of any normal battle earnings, unless stated otherwise. It is paid even if the mission fails, but only if the mission is attempted. Add a +1 to the roll if working for a corporation, which you're not. You guys got a local government and a wealthy individual. So patron number 1, the pay table is a 2, so it's a +1 credit. +1 cred. And patron number 2 is a 9, +3 credits. The wealthy, isn't this funny how this rolls out? +3 credits. The third step is a time frame table, which means how many turns you have to complete this campaign. Sometimes if it's a 1, that means say you have 2 patrons and one offers a campaign of 3. You have 3 turns, which means you have 3 turns to get to it. And if you have 1, it's you do it now or you lose it on your next turn. So the third step is determine the time frame for the job. This is the number of campaign turns within which you must finish the job. If the job isn't done when the time runs out, it counts as a failure. Add +1 to roll if working for a secretive group, which you're not. So patron number 1 is a 6. This is this or the next campaign turn. So you have 1 to 2 turns to do this. 1 to 2 turns to complete whatever his offer is. And then patron number 2 is an 8. This or the following 2 campaign turns. So you have 1 to 3 turns to complete it. So got a little bit of time. I mean, you could actually do this one on your first turn, patron 1's offer. And if you complete it on the first turn, then you can go right to patron 2 because you have time to do it. So that works out great for you, man. Roll a 10, it's any time, so you just keep that in your back pocket. All right, benefits, hazards, and conditions table. The patron may offer an additional benefit, the job may carry an additional hazard, or there may be conditions to account for. If you have worked for this patron before, which you haven't, the benefit, if any, always remains the same. Roll 1d10 for each category. The categories are right here, ting ting, and then the benefits go across to see whether benefits, hazards, or conditions apply. All right, patron 1. Let's see. Benefits is an 8+. What is it? What we got? Local government. So yeah, it's an 8+. You got to roll an 8+, which you rolled a 2, so there's no benefits. For hazards, it's an 8+. It's a 1, so there is no hazards. Conditions is an 8+, and you rolled a 5, so you got nothing on that. That's just a plain Jane patron right there. So patron number 2 is the same thing. He's a wealthy individual, so we go over here. Benefits is a 5+, and you rolled a 1. That sucked. Hazards is an 8+. You rolled a 3. Crap. Conditions is an 8+, and you rolled a 4. So pretty much plain Jane. So bummer. Well, that's the first time that's happened, man, that you didn't get any, that I didn't roll any benefits, hazards, or conditions. I guess in a way that's good because you could roll for some serious nasty stuff on here. But alrighty, next is assign equipment, which we could do that at the end. I'll go ahead and assign the equipment for you. Resolve any rumors. You have 2 rumors. Right? Yeah, you got 2 rumors here. You may find rumors as you play. If you are not currently on a quest, roll a d6. Okay, got a d6 at this stage. If the roll is equal or below the number of rumors, 2, remove all rumors from your roster. Equal or below. Oh, it's above, so you roll 3. Okay. You have now received a quest which you may say if the roll is equal or below the number of rumors, remove all rumors from your roster. Okay, well it's above, so I guess you keep the rumors. You have now received a quest which you may pursue immediately until the quest is resolved. Anytime you would receive a rumor, you receive a quest rumor instead. See page 120. Alrighty, check for rivals. Oh boy, this is where they can mess you up. Choose your battle. First, you must check that your rivals give you the opportunity to choose your battle. Tally up the number of rivals, 2, and roll d6. If the roll is equal to or lower than the number of rivals, one of them has tracked you down. Okay, so 2, it's gotta be equal or lower. So we're going for, oh crap. One of them has tracked you down. You rolled a 2. So one of them has tracked you down and you will have to fight them. Well, so much for that. This will prevent you from doing whatever you had wanted to do this campaign turn. Luckily you got 1 to 2 turns with Patron 1 and then 1 to 3 turns with Patron 2. So you could spare 1 campaign turn here. Oh wow. So quests and rumors remain, but a patron job will fail if the time to complete it has expired. You're alright. Select the exact rival at random from those on your list. Ugh. Okay, so you guys are going to be fighting a rival here. So select the exact rival at random from those on your list. So we're fighting one of your rivals, so I put down rival mission. So we proceed to the battles. Readying for battle. Battles fall into the following types: patron missions, rival missions, quest missions, opportunity missions, invasion battles. Well, you're doing rival. Yay! So then what you do is you flip the page here on 88 and you got 4 steps here. You got to determine deployment conditions, the objective, determine the enemy, and set up the battlefield. You may deploy under challenging circumstances. For quest, patron, rival, and opportunity missions, roll D100 and consult the appropriate column. So we're looking at the middle column here that's labeled with rival. So D100, we'll go ahead and do that right now. And you get a 1 and a 5, so it's a 15. So right here, deployment condition, small encounter. A random crew member must sit out this fight. Reduce enemy numbers by -1 if they initially outnumbered you. Oh wow. Okay, we're going to roll D100 for a notable sight. If you are fighting an invasion battle, which you're not, you're simply here to survive. Otherwise, roll D100 to determine if a notable sight is present. Make sure to consult the correct column, which is the rival column right here. The item is placed 2d6 plus 2 in a random direction from the center. Okay, that's to help put it down on the tabletop. So let's see what it is. 8. Rolled a 0 and an 8. So 1 through 20, nothing special. Or 1 through 40, nothing special. Crap. Next, step 2 is determine an objective. Well, you don't have an objective because a lousy rival has interrupted your mission there. So we move on to step, where is it? Step 3 here somewhere. So it's going through all the, yep, so alrighty. Okay, so you're not doing any objectives here. Yeah, determine the objective. Types of objectives here, they have like eliminate, fight off, move through, patrol, search, secure, protect. You have rival attacks. If you are being attacked by a rival, roll below to determine the circumstances. If you track them down, you will always fight a showdown. Well, you didn't track, they just found you. There is no win condition against rivals, but if you hold the field, you have an increased chance of permanently chasing them off. It means you could eliminate them for good. If you flee from the battle before 4 rounds are up, a random crew member will lose a random item of equipment carried in your flight. Alrighty, so it looks like we roll a D10 right here. And it's a 7. It's a showdown. So you look here, you have ambush, brought friends, and we rolled a showdown, so it's a straight up fight, no modifications. Ooh, baby. All right, next is number 3. All right, determine the enemy. If you're fighting a rival mission or invasion battle, you will usually know who you are fighting. Well, we don't. Pick the most appropriate entry from the encounter tables presented in this chapter. I'm not going to bother, we'll just roll. If you're not sure or have acquired an unexpected rival, roll twice and pick the more interesting or appropriate. Once a rival has been established, they will always be the same type. All right, so it's a D100 table, I believe. Before that, we have to roll see number of opponents. If you opted to play with a crew size of 4, roll 2d6 and select a lower result. All right, 2d6. And it's a 6 and a 3, so we take the 3. Add the modifier listed under numbers in the enemy table. Oh, so it's gonna be 3 and then plus whatever numbers the enemy we roll up is. So, but right now we're at 3 enemies, 3 opponents, I guess you'd say. Okay, right now it says here if you encounter 3 to 6 opponents, 1 specialist will be present. So we're gonna have a specialist here. So we're gonna have the specialist. What's the difference? We refer to these, the enemy force may include figures that are armed in a different way. Okay, we refer to these as specialists and lieutenants. They will both roll separately for their weapons when these are determined. Note that specialists and lieutenants are not additional figures. They are part of the number of opponents already generated above, but are armed differently. So they're just gonna be special dudes in this group. So all right, so right now we have 1 specialist, and until we find out what our enemy is, it could go up to possibly, well, 3 to 6. So yeah, there's definitely gonna be 1 specialist in this group. Okay, so next is unique individual. So let's hope we don't have to roll for a unique individual. Okay, let's find out what the enemy counter category table gives us here. Unknown rival. We're either going to fight some criminal elements, hired muscle, interested parties, roving threats. It's a D100. Take these out. And we rolled a 28 on the rival, so it's criminal elements. Ooh. Alrighty, this enemy counter subtables. We rolled criminal elements, so it gives us a lowdown of what type it will be here. It looks like it's a D100 table. But it does say, you are facing some sort of outlawed enterprise or faction. When engaging any opponents from this list, there is an increased chance of a bounty being available. When setting up, roll 1d6. Okay, let's roll 1d6. And it's a 5, okay? If the score is 1 to 3, that many bonus credits will be paid out if you hold the field after the battle. Crap! We rolled a 5, that sucks. Career criminals also tend to get even. When rolling to see if a defeated criminal group becomes a rival, you must roll 2d6 with a 1 on either die indicating you've acquired them as rivals. If both die scores a 1, they hate you. They become rivals and will increase the numbers encountered by +1 in all battles. Wow. Let's see, so then that's kind of like something that should be in the post battle here, but we'll go ahead and roll 2d6s. It says with a 1 on either die indicating you've acquired them as a rival, so we don't want any 1s, and we didn't get any 1s, so they will not be a rival. It says right there, you must roll 2d6 with a 1 on either die indicating you've acquired them as rivals. Well, there's no 1s. All right, so we move on. So it looks like now we roll a d100 to see what kind of criminal element we're dealing with here. So let's see. And we rolled a 9. Oh crap, 98. The higher, the worse. 98, 95, 100. Gunslingers. Ah, crap. Okay, gunslingers. Here we go. Alrighty. They have a +1 on the numbers, so it went from 3 to 4. But I know there's somewhere random crew members sit out. That reduce enemy is a number 1. So we take that +1, get rid of it, and we're fighting 3. So it's going to be a 3-on-3 battle here, it looks like. And the panic is a 1 to 2, which means if you roll, we'll get to that in a little bit on the battlefield. Speed, 4-inch speed, so they got normal speed. Combat skill is a +1. Toughness is a normal 3. And the AI, which you have to go backtrack, I learned that you have to backtrack on some stuff, is a letter T. And that is tactical. And then somewhere back here, it tells you what that tells you what kind of formation they're in, what kind of strategy they use on the table when you fight. They do a tactical kind of stuff, which means they probably move then shoot, or they have to hide behind something or something like that. I'll explain that in a little bit. And then their weapons is 1B, which means we're going to be rolling for the weapons, which I believe is over on this chart way back here. Way back here. But I gotta remember, one of those guys is gonna be a specialist. I gotta find that chart. So, oh, here you go. Here's the tactical stuff. It's, I believe, yeah, tactical and defensive. Tactical and defensive enemy setup divided evenly among 3 inches. 3 teams. Teams are placed 8 inches apart. Team members should be 1 to 2 inches apart. So it's like this. They have 2 here, 2 here, tactical kind of thing, 8 inches apart, whatever. So now you got 3 guys. So I guess we're gonna kind of just have one kind of crew here. I guess it wouldn't matter in a way. I don't know. I'll try to figure that out. So, because it's a showdown. So let's see what we can do. And then below, it kind of gives them a little description. Desperados eager to test their trigger skills against an opponent. Trick shot. Any natural 6 when they shoot allows an additional shot against the same target or another target within 2 inches. Oh boy, you don't want them to roll 6s, man. Okay, we're gonna roll for the weapons. We got 3 guys here, so 2 of the guys are gonna be rolling just on the regular weapon chart that they provide here, and so it's gonna be a D6. So we roll a D6 here, and it's a 6. So you go weapon 1, go down. They're carrying shotguns. Wow. So we got shotguns. Just put that right here real quick. And then the specialist, you roll right here. Roll specialist weapon here. So it was a 1B. So it's going to be in the B column. So you roll. And it's a 6. So you go down here to 6 and then you go over. Holy crap, it's a rattle gun. Oh, wow. Oh, one other thing, I figured that out. The 1 credit per crew member when we were doing the weapons and all that stuff is you just get +1 credit. So you guys get an extra 4 credits to your 9. So you guys have a total of 13 credits for your crew. So yay! And that, my friends, completes the enemy creation. So you got your campaign done and you got your enemy created done here. And this was the first crew that's going to be fighting a rival. So this will be interesting. Because next is set up the battlefield, which is what I got to take care of here. I won't bore you guys through any of that stuff. So, and then it goes right here, the battle round. So let's see what happens here. Can the Star Wolves take care of the, what are they, criminal elements, whatever they're called? Gunslingers. So it's a Star Wolves versus some gunslingers, a rival of theirs. Tune in for the next episode. You guys take care. Bye.